All right, Knights. Believe it or not, me and Jay over here, the Master of Death, we did a bracket, right, Jay?
That's right. And you did a bracket as well, right? Our followers did a bracket as well.
Yeah, we do it for you, really. But we love doing brackets. We love that you guys love brackets, and we've never done this before, but we want to give the results on our podcast, on the video, your bracket review, and then our bracket review. Right, Jay?
Yeah, exactly. So, real quick, if you're on YouTube, you can see on our screen, I'm sharing my screen right now, you can see the rankings that our followers on Instagram voted for Marvel movies. S is, obviously superb or superhero, whatever you want.
Superior, all of them.
Yeah, and then A, B, C are pretty, and D are all pretty self-explanatory. D is dreadful. There you go.
Love it. And no matter what, there's no F because it was a superhero movie, and no matter what happens, you had a good time watching it, at least
That,
once.
that's right. So for the people who are listening via podcast, just real quick, it went Endgame took the number one spot, followed by Infinity War, and then third place was Thor Ragnarok. And then if I just quickly, do you just want to quickly? I'll list the
Just
final.
say, just give us like the top.
Then it went Doctor Strange, then the original Avengers, The Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Civil War, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Homecoming, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Guardians Volume 2, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Iron Man 3, Thor, Captain America, Thor: The Dark World, The Incredible Hulk, and in last place was Iron Man 2. And those were actually tied for last place, so sixes, but that was just super quick. Could you follow it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can follow it.
So we wanted to talk about each individual movie really briefly while we're gonna rank them. So I'm gonna go ahead and go like this. I'm gonna hit reset,
Reset.
and now we're gonna go ahead and rank every movie. I'm gonna get this perfectly positioned like that. We're gonna rank every single Marvel movie, and we're gonna talk just a little bit about what we like or maybe why we don't like it and why it falls for us in each category. We're just gonna go from left to right like here, and we're gonna start with Guardians Volume 2, and we're gonna end with The Winter Soldier, which is Johnny's favorite movie of all time.
Yay.
Do you want to start us off, Johnny? Where would you put Volume 2, Guardians Volume 2?
I probably put that as a B.
Okay, high B.
Yeah, high B.
Perfect. What's something you really liked about the Volume 2 version, and maybe why
Uh,
you didn't like it as much as the first?
I liked. It was a lot of a repeat of the first. The first one won a little bit more because it was new, it was cool. The second one was kind of doing the same thing again. I did enjoy it. That's why I put it as a B. I love the gold people, the alien people in the beginning of two, right? That was really cool. I like they opened up space a lot. That's a big deal. Who didn't love Baby Groot? Am I wrong?
Oh my gosh,
Uh,
dude. Probably one of my favorite Marvel scenes of all time is when Baby Groot and Yondu and Rocket are like liberating themselves out of that jail cell, and Yondu is just wrecking everyone with the arrow, and they've got the music going.
yeah, that first fight scene too was classic. Like Baby Groot does not care what's going on, man. He's just digging his life.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's
That was
jump.
cool. I mean, that's just me. Where would you put it?
No, I agree with you. That's right where I was going to put it. Jumping into the next one, I'll do this one, Ant Man. I'm going to go ahead and put it on C if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
High
yeah, I
C.
like
High
Wasp
C.
more, but
Yeah. It's a heist movie with ants. What else can we say about it? I mean, it's fine. It feels like Mission Impossible with ants, but kind of not as good. I mean, it's kind of fun. It kind of hits everything, but just not amazingly, if that makes sense. Like it's good at
yeah,
everything, but it's not great. So, I mean, compared to other Marvel movies, it's high, but it's not the lowest for sure. But I mean, it's not quite there. You know what I mean?
yeah. Paul Rudd is amazing,
Amazing.
but the nerd in me was like, okay, he was he wasn't a thief. He wasn't like he wasn't a bad guy in essential. But I liked it. It was great where it was, and it was unexpected. So I'll put it as C.
Yeah, light brevity. I love his relationship with his daughter. I mean, I'm trying to think of like my favorite scene from the movie. Um, I don't know. I probably the friend makes me laugh more than anything.
His friend is funny. Then he
Yeah,
meets
but I
Zendaya
got the
that talks
van.
fast.
You want to give us Age of Ultron? Where would you put it?
I'd put it in the B. I don't know if I'd put it ahead of I'd put it ahead of Guardians. That's just me though.
I would put it behind, but so
That's
which one
fine.
should we
Put it
do?
behind.
Put
I
it
wasn't
behind.
different.
Okay, so here's one of the
Yeah.
rules. We have to be able to agree on it. So I'm going to say
I
behind.
agree on it. I agree on it. I
Okay,
wasn't
cool,
different.
but barely.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my favorite part was when they were trying to do the pick up Thor's hammer.
Oh yeah,
And I think that was the most like how you would assume they would hang out. That was really cool. That was really how I assumed the Avengers would just party.
yeah.
Like after just meet. And what are they trying to do? Move the hammer. And they tried to cheat with Tony, and then like Cap almost moves it, right? Just enough to make Thor panic a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love it. Yeah, no. So, and I was gonna add to that just a little bit. I love James Spader as Ultron, aka Robert
Oh,
California, aka my father, because he looks just like him. um,
the only down for me is the Hulk and Black Widow's weird ship they were trying to pull. It just felt forced and weird.
100%, dude. Way
Yeah, it was
forced.
awkward. It was just awkward.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
And that's the only scene they had. I think I could be way wrong in the movie where they're kind of flirting a little and it didn't even work.
Right, and it's a little self-loving at times. Like there are a few clips where I'm like, would you really be quipping at this moment? Like there's a little too many quips. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like this
Mm-hmm.
should be an intense scene, guys. We don't need to be quipping right now.
Quipping.
Um, all right. I guess I'll pick this one. This is going to be our first A for Avengers.
Yeah, that's exactly where I would put it.
High A. It's not quite to S. I'm going to say we can only have like 3 or maybe 4. Maybe.
Maybe four.
Yeah, I was honestly going to say maybe 1 or 2. We'll go with maybe 3. I don't
We'll
know.
see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll hash it out. But in
Hash
terms
it
of
out.
Avengers, dude, some of the coolest scenes. Joss Whedon had some really good scenes. There are a few scenes where I watch it and it's like as I rewatch the Avengers, it's not as good as it once was because some of the movies have gone so much up and beyond it. So it's still great, but it's just not as good. Like there's still so many quotable scenes. You know, Thor and Iron Man fighting in the trees. I'm always angry. Loki getting thrown around like a rag doll. Awesome. So it's an incredible movie, and it definitely set the pace for Marvel being something that was going to take over cinemas. This was the movie that initially did that, in my opinion.
Yeah, they had a real good job of giving them all separate origin stories and then putting them all together to make sense.
100%. Did you have
Well,
any?
what's
What's a
next?
favorite scene for you in this movie? If you wanted to add
That
one.
one, I mean, someone just, what was really funny is, and it took me a while to realize it because I take time when when Tony's like, "What do you want to do? Let's get something to eat," and then the cutscene was them eating food, just like
Shawarma.
that. I just like that. That was really cool for me. I mean, there's a ton of scenes, but that was the first one I thought of.
I
I
love
don't know
it.
why. It's just silly. It's just silly.
Yeah.
Where are you
Yeah.
on that?
What's that?
What was for you? Was it just the
Oh,
fighting of Thor?
yeah. I love that Iron Man versus Thor fight scene, and then afterwards, you got a mean left there. Point Break. Just the quips worked really well in that one compared to the second one. The quips are terrible. The first one, quips work.
The I will say one more. Phil, his fanboying of Captain America,
Oh
because I
yeah.
would do the exact same thing.
And when he gets stabbed and then shoots Loki, that whole sequence is
That was
heartbreaking.
sad.
Yeah.
How they made you love an agent, like
Yeah.
one of those that you don't really care about.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he has like a big role, like they have him in a lot of movies, but it's not like you should care about an agent dying, even if a high ranked agent.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. It's super uncommon. Jumping on, we should probably jump on, right?
Yeah,
Ant Man and the
I
Wasp
like that one, dude. I'll put that on B.
on B. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
We're
I
at
mean,
B.
you can put it, yeah, right there,
Cool.
third.
That's where I'd put it. I loved the Wasp in this one. I love
Dude,
so the
right?
humor's upgraded just a little bit, but I really love the Wasp's addition to the Avengers. She's
Hmm.
awesome, incredible.
Dude, she's great. The humor was a lot more better.
Yeah,
No, it was great, and it made sense. Like he had to go to jail. She was mad at him for going away, not being a team. A lot of it drew back to which we would hit more the Civil War, but a lot of it made sense,
yeah,
right? Like, and then my favorite scene was when he tried to say Cap, and she's like, "Oh, you're friends now? Oh, it's just what they call him, Captain America, Cap."
yeah. I think one of my favorite scenes is when the Wasp first introduces herself and she's just beating the crap out of everyone. I don't know. Any scene with her was great, but that in particular was there were some really good action scenes specifically with the Wasp.
She
Uh,
can fly.
didn't care as much for the villain, but that's okay. She was fine. She's just kind of forgettable in my opinion. The
There
ghost,
was a villain.
the ghost, the chick that
Ah,
disappears. So yeah, Black Panther. I'm gonna put this up with A, and I'm not sure where to put it, Johnny. You're gonna have to decide.
I'd put it ahead of
Okay,
Avengers.
that's
Honestly, it was such a cool, different movie, man.
yeah, it really was. I have one small complaint. There are a few scenes that are at night where like I don't know why I can't tell where Black Panther is, and maybe that was intentional because he's stealth or whatever. But it was like, what is even happening right now?
What is
There were a
happening?
few scenes like that, but oh, dude, Chadwick Boseman breaks my heart. This was such a good movie. He put in such a great performance, and then same with Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. Both their
Oh yeah.
performances were like top tier. So for me, I would say they're those two juxtaposing each other for me was like the big reason why this was such a good movie.
Yeah, I like the cast in general. I'm drawing a blank because the his private guard, they're all women. Um,
Um,
his special forces of this is
yeah,
why
it's
we
like the
need to not give our
Chitauri or something. It's
producer a
not
time
that.
off.
That's
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about all the bald women. Yeah, with spears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just sick, man. Like they're
They're
just
intense.
hardcore. Can take down anybody. They don't care who you are. I mean, which we later learned they took out the Winter Soldier, who's a freaking super soldier. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
totally.
And they didn't have any special abilities, but
They didn't even
yeah,
have super serum.
no,
John
but they were
Walker.
great.
I guess. Where would you like this one? Captain America, the first Captain America.
The thing is, that one's kind of a little harder. I would put it maybe. Where do you want it? I mean, at the first 20 minutes of that movie is amazing.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm C or B on that, man.
I
I
would.
really I don't put it ahead of the Wasp. Really, like I
I'd put it
really
here.
when I rewatch it, it's only the first half when he's like when he turns into Cap. I don't like bullies. Like that. The first 30 minutes of that movie made a lot to me.
Yeah,
When he's like, "Why do you want to go to war? Do you want to kill Nazis? I don't want to kill anybody. I just don't like bullies."
100%.
And the second half got a little bit out of control, and then like with Peggy was sad, but the first half of that movie for me is a great origin story.
I think it's so personally. I think it's probably that and Iron Man are definitely the two best origin stories
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Iron Man's the
But
best.
just having
Yeah.
him be, like have all those issues, just his friendship with the doctor, the German doctor, and
Mhm.
like you said, he's just such a pure character. Our Master of Strength, Melissa, just recently mentioned, like he jumps on the grenade, and he's just such a pure
Dude,
character.
I have goosebumps that whole like when he's training scene, like when he outsmarts everyone to get the flag.
Yeah,
Like something about a short, scrawny guy always appeals to me, and then he was all heart.
yeah.
No
And Tommy
matter
Lee
what you
Jones
say,
is
he was all
like,
heart.
it takes guts, and he throws the grenade, and then
Yeah.
he jumps on it. I love that scene. Yeah, and then again, yeah, he's smart. It shows that there's so much more to him, and it shows why he's able to lift the hammer. Especially as the movies go on.
Honestly, that's why it's like the second half doesn't put it for an A for me, but that
That's
first
right.
half is where it's at.
Yeah. Jumping to Civil War, I'm actually gonna, if it's okay with you, I was gonna just put it either in between or above Black Panther.
That's
It's definitely
perfect.
better
That's
than
that's fine. Yeah,
where
I love
where
Civil
would you
War.
want
Civil
it?
War brought everyone together.
Before, above, or
I'd put it at front of Black Panther, honestly. That's just
okay?
me.
That's where I would put it too. That's where I was gonna put it. Just because, dude, the emotion, like we've had these characters for so long, and now we've got Iron Man versus Captain America, and it's so heartfelt and so heartbreaking, dude. It like kills me when they're
And
fighting each other.
but you can also tell they don't want to fight each other, like how he's talking
It's
to Cap when he
conflicted.
talks to Spider-Man. Where are you from? Jersey. Oh, where are you from? Like you can tell, like from the Bronx or Long Island. You can tell like there's a camaraderie regardless of what's going on.
And it does such a good job of setting up like such a mystery for Endgame, for Infinity War. Like the Avengers are split up; they're fractured. So
Yeah.
it does such a good job of putting us in such a dangerous spot for Thanos to come in and, dude, like, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, and again, where did Black Widow side with? Figure it out. Just
Figure it
saying.
out. Where would you put Captain Marvel? Above Ant Man?
I don't know, dude. It's hard. I wouldn't put her above Ant-Man.
We'll put her on C.
That's just me. I want to like it more. There's some things about it. Maybe the second one will save me. She's just so apathetic.
Yeah,
It was a struggle.
she's not a likable character. She's very like, very
Monotone.
yeah, monotone, unemotional. I don't know. It was just hard for me to connect with the character.
Super powerful. I get where she was coming from, but I want to see more from her. She's a great actress. I don't. The character is OP like no other.
Dude, her and Brie Larson and a bunch of other stuff, but especially in Community, she can be so likable, and that's
So
what
likable.
made me so frustrated. Is I think it's a directorial problem. I don't think it's an actress
No.
problem. So, and they kept saying you need to control your emotions, and it's like this girl has no
What
emotions.
emotions?
Yeah, this superhero has zero emotions.
And they built her up to like come save, and there was a
It was
lot
kind
they
of in the
didn't do
ninth
well.
hour too. I didn't like that she was coming in the ninth hour stronger than everyone, which is I mean I guess it's fine, but she has to be likable in order to do that. You know what I mean? We need to
Just a
spend some
little.
time with her. Yeah.
Like I know the Green Lantern, this DC kind of bombed Ryan Reynolds, but he was kind of likable. Like this just
Kinda,
bombed
yeah.
his movie,
It wa-
but you liked him a little
yeah.
bit.
Right. I cared for Ryan Reynolds just because he's so charismatic, but the rest of the
Yeah.
story and everything was garbage.
But anyway, I was just going off intergalactic superheroes. So the best movie ever, Thor. I mean, I would put it on. Yeah, yeah. Wherever
We'll
that
go
that one is to me.
dreadful.
Just
I've only seen
yeah,
this movie once, dude, because I
dude.
haven't even revisited it. I've seen it once and I was like, okay, I'm okay.
No,
I've
I
seen
and
clips.
the only thing that was funny was when I forgot Natalie Portman's character smacks Loki. That was for New York. And that's about it.
Dude, I think the one scene I genuinely like love from this film is when Loki hears about his mother dying and he nods, goes over,
Yeah.
he sets down his book, and then everything flings against the wall, like, and then it's tied pretty well too into the Loki series so far. I really like his relationship with his mom and that yeah. So
It
that
makes
is
him
the
likable.
saving grace of this movie. I've seen
Yeah.
that scene like 10 times, but I haven't sat down and watched the whole movie since I saw it originally.
You can tell Loki cares for him, and you can tell he cares for the mom. It's like Loki's one of those characters you want to redeem every time you see him.
Totally. Dude, what shocked me is our followers put Doctor Strange at number 4. Number freaking 4. Are you kidding? I did not think it was that high. I love
Oh my
Doctor
gosh,
Strange, but
thank you. No, I debate this all the time with people. Like I like it, but I don't put it as I'll put it an A,
yeah,
but I
and
don't
then
love
I
it,
would put it
dude.
like right here. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that's perfect for me.
Okay.
Like I just rewatched it recently, and I was like, love the actor, love it can some humor. Like his deadpan humor is great, but I don't put it up that high, man. I just don't.
Everything's
Even
good, but
you can
it's
argue
not.
putting it to B with me, I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, yeah, I would, and we might
I would
have to push
honestly
some of these
rewatch the
down.
Ant Man and Wasp over Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I don't know where I would put that, honestly. Probably.
It's a if for a great movie and storytelling and what he means to Marvel, he deserves to be an A. But I don't put I. Some people love him as his favorite character. I gave our DM Eric a mini of it because I know that's his favorite character, but that matches our DM.
So I would say Doctor Strange is an incredible, like, cameo. Like, my favorite cameo is always Doctor Strange. Always.
Hmm.
Him in Thor Ragnarok,
Oh yeah,
unbelievably good. Him in Infinity War, he is such a good character to have in the mix. As a lead, he's A for me. He's not like Thor can be in the S. Like I think Ragnarok, I'm probably gonna put an S. Spoiler warning. Um,
spoiler.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier might end up in the S. Like they can carry movies
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't think Doctor Strange so far. Maybe he will later,
No,
but
we'll see.
he's much more of a cameo slash like he's such a good contributor. He's not as good of a carrier in my opinion, but he's my favorite cameo, 100%.
Love it. That's why he's an A.
Yeah. Is this our first S, Johnny? What do you think? You tell me.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, dude! That's top of the list for me so far. Like
Okay.
I've never had a roller coaster of a movie in the theater than Endgame. I
Dude,
know you and
that
me differ
energy.
between
Tell us a
Endgame
little
and
bit about your
Infinity,
theater experience.
dude. It's just I've never had and I watched it like 3 days late, and that the best thing Marvel ever did was tell everyone keep your mouth shut, and nerds finally listened. We're part of the Star Wars fandom as well, and we do not listen. But for some reason, for Marvel, no one said anything, and I just remember the minute he finally moved that hammer. I even have him a statue of him holding a Mjolnir. I lost, dude. The theater lost it, and it was like an eruption of concert. That's the closest thing I ever had to when he got it, and Thor got happy, and the whole like theater erupted.
Screamed. Yeah. So I remember, dude, like it was so dead quiet when Thanos is smiling and putting a Stormbreaker into Thor's chest. I
Mhm.
legitimately thought Thor was gonna die, and I was in my heart, I was like, no. I remember like everything on me was collapsing, and then you see the hammer move, and I was like, no, they did it. I didn't think
Right?
they were gonna do it. Like I knew it happened in
No,
the
it didn't.
comics, but I didn't think they were gonna do it. I did not think they were gonna do it.
And the way he like retracts it back, and
Throws
I'm
it
gonna
against the
brag a little bit.
shield, and
I kind of called Cap's ending a little, not exactly right, but I called it he'd end up with Peggy somehow in his dreams. Kind
yeah.
of worked. That one could have been hit or miss, but
That one,
and
that's one of
also
those endings that's a little controversial, if we're being honest. That's
yeah,
kind
that
of,
one. I
for some
mean,
people, it's a negative. Like,
there's a
I'm
lot
with you
that
till
could
the
have
end of
been
the
better.
line until this beautiful
Yeah,
woman comes in and wants to dance with me. Like, there's some
it's
issues.
because I remember everyone being like, he's gonna die, and I'm like, Cap's not gonna die. Why would they predict it 6 years in the future? Anyway, uh, the issue I had with that was how they gave Black Widow the worst ending because they didn't let her be in the part at the end.
Mm,
I really did. But again, back to the theater experience is having everybody in the theater cry like 3 times, and it was
Yeah.
all Tony's funeral, his death and his funeral. Oh, not a dry eye in the theater.
Yeah, but this movie does highlight that, like, the scene where Cap says, did Natasha have any family? Or no. Someone asked, did Natasha have any family?
Yeah.
And Cap says, us. But if we'd have put Black Widow in before, we would have known that she did have a family. Dude, the timeline
So
got
explain
so
it. So
screwed.
the movie that just dropped, the Black Widow movie,
Yes.
which I love,
which is
that
not
you
on this
predicted
list, which we will put in just as it'll be the final movie we put in, just sort of as a
cameo.
Yeah.
But that movie should have been released before Infinity War, and then we would have cared about her family because, as your idea was, Jay.
Well, when they opened the portals, the family would have showed up and come through the portals, and we would have known who they were, and they would have been there for Natasha, who just had died.
Yeah, could you imagine when they're passing on the glove and it's the women that take over, right? Which was a sick scene. If they had the freaking White Widow, whatever they want to call her, or even the surrogate mother, if they had them carrying it for her,
Yeah.
oh, death to my tears.
Yeah.
100%. I would not have
percent.
had enough tears by the funeral.
Yeah. If I can't remember her name, her sister though in Black Widow.
Yeah, it's Tasha. No, it's something. But anyway, I think they call her the White Widow.
Yeah.
She's wearing white. Anyway, would have been amazing.
Okay, this is gonna be hard though. Now we have Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
It's definitely an S for me.
The thing with that one, it's an S for sure. And it was, I think everyone was kind of sad and bitter about there was something else that dropped. Was it Infinity War?
No. Because Infinity War was after, so it wouldn't have been that. I
There
think it was
something
Civil
that
War.
everyone-
I think it was Civil
Yeah, I
War.
think it was Civil War, and everyone was just kind of like emotionally drained by a lot of these superhero movies.
Yeah.
And my cousin said it best. This was a superhero movie I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
And I got it.
I'm gonna put it for me. It would go above Endgame, but if I don't have your approval, we'll keep it here.
I mean, I wouldn't put it above Endgame.
Okay, let's
but
keep
you
it
and me
here then.
differ on
We'll keep it.
Endgame.
I was on the fence, so let's put it there.
Okay.
But I watched this movie 3 times in the movie theaters. I think once or
Wow.
twice by myself. Like I went by myself. I never do that.
Mm.
I loved that movie that much, dude. I was dying right from the get when you see Matt Damon freaking as Loki, dude. I lost it. I laughed.
That's the best cameo ever.
I laughed more in this movie in the theaters than I have of any movie ever. That's not an
Wow.
exaggeration. This is the funniest movie I've ever seen in theaters.
I mean, I still have a Hangover. She's out of my league. A lot of other ones ahead of it, but still, it was a funny movie.
Okay. What about Guardians Galaxy? I think that's
The
got to
first
be an
one,
A.
I go A.
Yeah, but where in A?
I put it above Strange. That's just me.
All right, we'll put it right here.
I just liked it. I thought it was cool. It was fun.
I would have it like
The
tied with Black
soundtrack.
Panther. I'm right on the fence between these two. I'll put it here though.
It's up to you. I mean,
No, I'll keep it there, if you're
I thought
cool
it was
with
a better
it.
story.
Yeah, I would say like they're so different too. You know, one's a comedy and
Yeah,
Has a
an
talking
intergalactic
tree.
comedy.
then the other one has, you know, like I don't know. We'll keep it there. How's that?
Yeah, I approve it. I mean, we can jostle it later, but
I think
Incredible Hulk, huh?
well, I was just gonna say one thing I wanted to highlight in the
Oh, yeah,
first
sorry.
Guardians of the Galaxy. One thing I loved is James Gunn's ability to. So people say Ronan is a very weak villain, and I don't think he is. I think he's interesting to some degree. He's not understandable, which is fine. He's just an angry dude who wants to kill things, which is great. But I love that because of that, it allows you to focus on the heroes. So the heroes are so well done, and you care so much about them. When Groot dies at the end, dude, I get
Oh,
so
dude,
sad.
we are Groot. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I actually think it's to the movie's benefit that the villain isn't like he's not as cool as Thanos. You know, he's not as understandable. I think it's to the movie's benefit because we highlight the heroes so well. We're able to focus on them so much. Kudos to James Gunn for that.
Did you just convince me to put that ahead of Black Panther? I think you might have.
If you want, we can do it. The list
I mean,
is
we are
changeable for
Groot,
now.
right?
Let's
That's fine.
do
Let's
it.
keep moving. There it is. Yeah. Okay, I like
Oh,
it.
not that though. Not that. We are
Okay.
Groot.
I'll
think,
go with
did it.
that. I'll go with that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is it's so hard to rank because they're so different. So like one day I'll like Black Panther more because you know I'm in the mood for it, and another day I'll like Guardians more. But right now, this day today, I think Guardians is gonna hedge out.
It's hard because Black Panther is such a cool character, and so like his abilities are amazing, his story's amazing, he's amazing. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, if it were me, I'd kind of want to be an intergalactic wannabe stud, right?
Yeah.
You don't know who Star Lord is? Like that's who I think I would be. Trying to make a rep for my name. and then not pick up, and I get sad.
Dude, honestly, I out of all the movies Black Panther's in that I love him in, I think I enjoy him the most in Civil War. I
He's
think I
great in
do.
Civil
He's
War.
so good.
There's so much like hatred yet understanding.
And
Like
he's
he
dude,
understood like Bucky. Like at the end, like he had no
yeah.
reason to, but he gave Bucky a safe place.
And he's in my opinion, that made him the purest hero out of the whole lineup. When he forgives Zemo, I was like, Cap didn't do stuff like that. Cap had secrets.
No,
Cap
dude, Cap held a grudge.
Yeah, Cap would do kind of some iffy stuff for
Yeah,
sure. But Black
yeah,
Panther didn't. You know what I mean? Like Black Panther was pure. I loved
yeah.
Chadwick
He was
Boseman.
great in Civil War. That's what's good about Civil War is it's not just a Captain America movie, even though it's supposed to be, but it has really everybody.
Yeah. Vengeance is consuming them. I won't let it consume me. I love that line so much. Like
Right?
he just yeah. He's like I was really hoping if Chadwick Boseman hadn't died, I was really hoping he would take over as the next leader of the Avengers over Doctor Strange, over Spider-Man, over
Oh,
whatever else.
easy.
It should have been
Especially
Black
Cap
Panther.
gone, Iron Man gone. Like he would be a great leader.
He should
No
have
one's
he
ready.
should have stepped in Captain America's place as like that leader, and Doctor Strange should have stepped in as Iron Man's place as like the overpowered person who's there.
Intelligent, like
Yeah,
intellectual.
exactly.
Yeah, there's no one else that should do it. I mean, if I see Hawkeye up there, I'm quitting.
Exactly. All right, I think we can agree on this. Let's just say
That's,
something.
yeah, not even close.
Do we have
boys.
anything
It was-
positive to say about this? Let's try and
Yeah,
come
I
up with
only
something.
paid 50 cents to watch it because it was in the dollar theater and it was 50 cent day.
Maybe my favorite, one of my favorite. Holy cow! I almost said
Cast?
Steve Martin. The guy who created it all, dude. I'm drawing. This is what happens when you're on air, guys. Sometimes you just have a brain fart.
Are you talking
Stanley,
about
Stanley.
what?
His
Stanley?
cameo in it is really funny. He drinks like
Oh.
the Jamaica or whatever, the orange juice that has some blood in it, and oh. Anyway, I'm trying to think what else. Edward Norton was fine. I think we can all
Isn't
agree
that
Mark
weird? Is like
Ruffalo's
he's
better.
a great actor and he did a great job, and people were mad when they recasted him,
Yeah,
but it worked.
yeah,
The few times where a recast worked.
really well. And I actually think the same for we haven't gotten to it yet, but in the first Iron Man they recast.
Oh yeah, Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and I think
I mean, but Don Cheadle isn't a superior actor to begin with. Don't get me wrong.
he's unbelievably good.
But it's not like Paul Rudd, not Paul Rudd. Mark Ruffalo isn't a superior actor than Edward Norton. I mean, he's won way more awards.
Right.
So for it to work, it was a once in a lifetime thing where it was a recast that worked.
Right. Of a lesser known actor in my opinion.
Who's
Or
great, but he's good for
a
like
lesser
romantic
acclaimed.
comedies.
Right, exactly. Where would you put this guy at? Iron Man 3.
3, I'd put it on C. I wasn't a huge fan of 3.
I'm gonna
That's
put
just
it there.
me.
Is that cool?
Yeah, I mean, I could have argued it with a D. I mean, that one was
Right.
like, it was all it did was help Pepper Potts, like her a little bit more.
Right. And I would
Right.
say Iron Man 2 is kind of in the same spot, maybe like this.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of 2. The thing with all those is like it's the Don Cheadle recast was great, so I put it ahead of that.
Cheadle. Yeah, he's great. What about the original Iron Man? Where are we
That's
gonna
a
put this?
good one though, dude. I can argue that one on B or A. Like I really could.
I would put it right here. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, because it was a great great origin story. But the problem that it was, it without this movie doing so well, I don't think it'd be an MCU.
I agree. No, it really did. You had Batman Begins, which started the idea that you could have superhero
Cool hero
movies actually work as action movies well, you know? Because prior to that, you had Fantastic Four, you had
Fantastic
Green Lantern.
lame.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the X-Men were horrible. Like it hurt my childhood to watch a lot of those X-Men movies.
Yeah,
that Fox made. Wolverine was
Last
cool,
Stand is the only one that like really is incredible.
and it took 15 years to do it.
Yeah.
But one other thing on the Iron Man movie,
Yeah.
when I'm trying something, is Robert Downey Jr., right? Because he was nothing. He was just kicked
Well,
out.
he had been huge. He had been a big actor.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
an
he was
A-lister.
huge in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay in the 90s, but
Then
like
went through some
kind of
personal
washed up.
problems. Yeah. Well, he went through some personal problems. Went to jail for a little.
Oh yeah, he did drugs. He had issues.
Yeah.
I mean, people were like, "Why didn't they cast Tom Cruise?" Which was there. Tom Cruise was there. Like it was like footage of him, right? I think he got to the point where they shot stills.
Dude, I'm gonna get hate for this. I would still love to see a Tom Cruise and Iron
Oh,
Man. It would still be
alright,
cool. It
you
wouldn't be
and
the
me-
same. It wouldn't be as good, but it would still be cool to see. Like,
As an action hero, we have him at top of our list. Like
Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves, but I like Cruise is the best runner of all time. Once you point that out, I can't go back.
It would have been a different approach on Iron Man. He wouldn't have been as cocky or as swaggery, but he would have been more intense, and it would have been interesting. I hope there's like,
Could
I
you
hope there
imagine
is
him
a.
and Evans acting together?
Oh
That'd be
my
kinda weird.
gosh, yeah,
He would have been just too high maintenance, like, like do this,
dude.
No.
But could you imagine like if there's an alternate multiverse out there where we can see? I would love to
But
watch the
then it
Marvel
would have been like
movies
5
with.
movies, not 25.
Maybe,
you know?
yeah, maybe. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. can carry a crowd. You've seen him at the Comic Cons when he comes on the stage.
Oh, dude, he just owns it. And the thing is, they got Tony right because Tony was never that big. I mean, he was big in the comics, but cartoon-wise, like he was just kind of the afterthought. Like Iron Man was cool. Everyone knows Iron Man. They know the song, but he made it cool.
I would argue he's been the best casting of the last 50 years, maybe.
I mean,
Definitely the last
Bale.
20.
I loved Bale. Don't get me wrong, Christian Bale. If we're going Dark Knight, Joker. I mean that was just
Oh,
the
Heath
best.
Ledger. That's true. Okay,
I'm just saying,
top three. We'll say top three
Marvel-wise,
for
best
yeah,
cast.
for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Jim Halpert as Captain America because that was he did
Was the
audition.
thing, yeah. Infinity War. I'm gonna put right here because it's my favorite movie of all time.
I'll let you have it. I like Endgame more. Just want that for the record.
Oh, really? You're gonna let me have it? We can agree
No,
on
of course
this.
I'm gonna have it because I'm gonna yell at you.
But
About
you'll
Winter
agree
Soldier.
that Infinity War is the better movie, right? Like in terms of like.
no,
Okay.
no.
I guess we're
no.
not gonna agree on this one, everyone.
The thing is, does it belong where it is? Yes.
Okay.
Does it have the best interaction of all time with Thor and
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord? Yes. I mean, come on.
He's trying.
I've
to
never
mock
wanted
me.
more of a mashup. I don't even know what a hybrid movie, a collaborative movie, more in my life than those two on a.
I'm
on
hoping
a
we get it.
spaceship.
I'm hoping we get it with the end of Endgame when they're together. I'm hoping we get it.
I mean, yeah, Thor, Ragnarok of Love, whatever they're calling it's gonna be kind of different.
Love and Thunder.
Uh,
But there's
um,
well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But they might start off together. That would be cool if they
I mean,
did.
honestly, just when he was doing the voice, like those when they get together, when Chris's get together,
Dude, for me,
magic.
it's three things for me are my favorite things ever of any Marvel. One of them is Doctor Strange versus Thanos when they start shooting magic back and forth. So sick. Doctor Strange does a and turns into a million versions of himself. That was one. Two would be when Thor arrives with Stormbreaker and he screams, "Bring me Thanos." I love that scene so much. His arrival is so sick. And then this is one that we're going to agree on, Johnny. But it's when Thanos arrives in Wakanda and he's just mowing through the Avengers and Cap comes like under his arm and hits him once like in the back of the knee to get him kind of going forward and then hits him under the chin and then grabs onto the gauntlet.
That GIF almost ruined our friendship.
It really did.
Because I didn't know you hated spoilers this bad, and I was just at the Anaheim Con, WonderCon, and
Yeah.
they just released a clip for it, and the clip had the GIF, and it was a cool, like that's all anyone talked about in this con, which was when Cap was so strong holding the gauntlet against him, and the wind was blowing and his hair was long.
And Thanos
I-
is looking at him like, what the
Well, yeah,
freak?
this guy should not be doing this. Like, this is how strong and pure energy Cap is. And I sent that GIF to one of our group chats, and someone's like, Jay's gonna get mad. I'm like, no, he's fine. I didn't hear from you for like 4 weeks.
I think I
It wasn't
lost
that
it
bad,
on you.
but-
I think I lost it on you though. I was like, what are you doing? I've been avoiding
like-
every trailer, you dick.
And I was like, I didn't know you were so anti the trailer. But honestly, it was such a good thing though. Like that scene does push it. That was a great scene.
Far From Home. I needed this movie. Speaking of Thor Ragnarok, needing kind of a lighter movie, I needed this movie after Endgame. I really enjoyed Spider-Man Far From Home because it's a little bit lighter in many ways, while still being serious. But there's a lot of humor, and I enjoyed the movie. I don't know why. It was the right tone at the right time.
I don't know where you want to put it, but I loved, and it's a still of it too, of Iron Man. I think it was Tony's face, like kind of in remembrance of, and then just Parker like standing behind it. Behind it had the mural of him, and he was standing in front of it, and just like the whole weight of the Avengers on his shoulder. And you're like, he's just a kid.
Right. I would put it right here.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. I won't argue with that. That's a good one.
Okay. I would watch it. I would watch this again over Doctor Strange.
Oh, easy. Doctor Strange for me is kind of a rare one, man. I liked it. It was one of those great one shots. Doesn't mean I'm going to rewatch it a lot.
So you might hate this, but I actually. Oh, and I was just gonna say. Well, that's enough on that. Spider-Man: Homecoming. While we're on Spider-Man, this is probably only B for me.
Nah,
Just FYI.
I did not like this at all.
Okay, cool. Do you want it right here or lower?
Yeah, that's per B is fine. B's
Okay.
fine.
I mean,
It
it's
was
fun to see
cool,
Iron
but
Man. It's just not. It's just not as good, in my opinion. It's fine.
it was cool to have Aunt May being hot, and we're like, cool. But then the thing of that
Just
kind of
getting
wore off.
younger
That's
and
all.
younger.
That's what I remember though. Everyone's like, Aunt May's hot, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, what are we doing though?
Yeah. Where would you put Thor?
The original Thor.
Yeah.
I put it ahead of I put it B and ahead of Spider-Man. That's just me. I don't know if you want it higher. It
Right
was
here.
cool, but yeah, that's where I'd put it.
Yeah, that works. I would agree with that. I love there's so it's one of those movies where like there are scenes I rewatch all the time and I
Yeah.
absolutely love. As a whole, I don't really watch the movie that often because as a whole it's not great, but the parts in it are incredible if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'll rewatch that over, even Civil War. Doesn't mean I don't love Civil War more. There's just
Right.
some movies you can easily rewatch that's not, heavy.
So there's a scene that's totally improvised where Thor's about to get banished out. He and Odin are arguing super hard, and Loki tries to say something, and Odin he tries to interrupt, and Odin just growls at him. He goes "Harr!" and totally improvised
Really?
by Odin, the actor Anthony Hopkins. It's totally improvised. The growl is, and you can see the actual reaction from Loki, from Tom Hiddleston. It's 100%. So
Oh man.
there are things that I love in Thor like that, but it's not as a whole it's not even close to something like Black Panther or Ragnarok or
No. The best Thor movie is Ragnarok. There's a reason it's up there.
there's a reason it's top 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although is it about to be put in top 4? This is a hard one, Johnny. This is really hard.
I'd put that over Ragnarok, easy.
Okay.
I
I'll
you
allow
can put
it. I'll allow it.
The thing was that this movie was such a hybrid movie that we have not seen in a superhero movie. Where just as Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec said about Game of Thrones, it talks about the nerd and real life situations. So it brought in everyone. It was a cool spy movie, yet it was Marvel. There
Yeah.
was Cap trying to be in the world while being cool. Like when they brought in
So relatable.
it was really relatable.
Oh my
gonna
gosh, watching
get more
Cap
insight,
struggle.
but I just loved it when Widow picks him up in that Corvette thing. I don't know cars.
It's a
That
Stingray,
sick car. Yeah. And he's like, I gotta get to work. And he's like, oh yeah, I bet.
Looking for a fossil.
Yeah. And it showed also Cap and Black Widow, man. Like they had a really tight bond, which I wish they explored more. Like she was, whatever you want to say, she was at least his work wife. She was there for him. She cared about him. And what we learned, in wrong order, for Tasha to care about you, it's rare.
So I'll say this 100%. This did 2 incredible things which have shaped Marvel. One is it rebirthed Captain America as a total action icon. I mean, the action in this one is unbelievably good. Right off the bat, he's kicking people. He did not skip leg day, dude. He is kicking people.
You cannot kick your
off
way
the
out
boat.
of this one, Steve.
Yeah. And then the number 2 thing it did is it cemented the Russos as being the best directors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it
And
allowed them
Community.
to have the trajectory because this movie was so well received. Marvel said, and it was so well done. Marvel said, "Okay, Russos are going to handle Civil War. They're going to handle Endgame and Infinity War."
They are amazing. There's some things that towards the end I didn't like, but action wise, that elevator scene
Oh,
was just
so
epic.
sick.
Right at the first part when he's like, "Are we gonna do this?" Yeah, and they just fought. And it's weird because you think in a closed space it'll be easy, but it took them like 2 weeks. Like that's how hard it was to film, and you could tell it came out flawlessly. Imagine just fighting someone in an elevator.
Yeah, that might be my favorite Marvel. I watched that
Action scene, right?
So much, dude. When he's putting the pieces together, I didn't see it coming that they were gonna jump him in the
No.
elevator, and he starts putting it together, and you see it with him. I remember I personally was like, oh,
Yeah, the minute he kind of I forget his name, the not Deadshot, but whatever the equivalent of
Crossfire, it's
Deadshot.
something like that. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
the minute he almost gets for his, I think it's his gun or his nightstick. We're like, oh, it's on, it's on.
yeah. I loved. There's one scene where he grabs the dude by the ankle and just backflips him, he throws him by
Right.
his ankle into the wall across from him. He's doing stuff like that all the time. And like you hear him breaking bones, and he's taking the taser and it's hitting other people. And then when he jumps out of the elevator, that whole elevator scene is so well choreographed and so entertaining.
Amazing. There's no I've had the debate on there was Daredevil on Netflix when the Punisher had a hallway scene in a jail, which is really cool.
Yeah.
An enclosed scene battle with nerds.
I've seen it, yeah.
But for me, the elevator one was better.
100%.
Just the best. And I like too, they had a lot of like Cap had to be on the run. You had to see him be a little bit like he had to steal a car. Like those are moral issues that he wasn't okay with, but they had to do it.
Yeah, borrowing a car.
Yeah, sorry, borrowing. We'll return it later. Wink, wink.
Yeah. So I loved. So it's funny. I hadn't seen any trailer for this movie, not one. Going back to that,
I didn't know I could spoil it for you, but I will from now on.
So I did not know that Bucky was going to be the Winter Soldier because I hadn't seen any. I had seen 0 trailers, and nerd fashion right now. I'm not as well versed in Marvel. Like DC, I know like the back of my hand. I knew DC Comics. I watched it all growing up. I know like some really deep characters.
Deep cuts, dude.
Yeah, deep cuts. Yeah, I know a ton of DC. Marvel, I didn't know as much, so I genuinely thought Bucky was dead. And so when he throws Bucky and the mask comes off, like I said, I had seen 0 trailer. I had been off social media.
Oh wow!
I'd been off social. I'd had 0 spoilers for this movie. I went and saw it based off my brother's recommendation. We watched it in our basement. He fell asleep during it. But I would laugh, or something would happen, and he'd wake up and he'd look over at me and he'd smile, and he knew what was happening. He'd seen it like 5 times at that point. But I became obsessed with this movie because it would surprise me so much. Like this was the movie that cemented my love for Captain America.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that.
Right? Like he was fine in the first movie. He was like great, okay, cool. But like this movie, I was like, nope, he's my favorite Avenger right there. Holy cow!
Like on Civil War, who do you side with? I understand Iron Man's side, but I didn't even hedge. Didn't even blink.
Yeah, no. And I just saw a meme recently that's talking about that, how like everyone else is discussing the Accords and Cap's the only one reading them. I love that imagery.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around. So on that Bucky scene and the way they explained it, which makes a lot of sense, is
leading into it. Sorry, can I interrupt you real quick?
Go for it.
I just wanted to get your opinion on leading into that scene with the car chase. Did you see that coming the first time you saw it when Fury's driving? And I guess that's not the same scene. I'm thinking of a highway scene that I just combined them. That's embarrassing. What did you think of the Samuel L. Jackson highway scene of Nick Fury getting jumped? Sorry.
Well, I mean, since The Matrix Reloaded, I loved highway scenes. Like that was really well done.
Right. The other one's a different. I just made a total mental error. Sorry, but the other highway scene where he does see Bucky for the first time. What were you saying about that? Sorry about that.
Well, so the whole premise isn't, because it's not like it's known that it's like everyone knows Clark Kent's Superman. So unless the rare oddity of you that doesn't know, I knew it was Bucky, but I didn't really care. I'm like, they could have lied. They could have changed it up.
Right.
But the whole part of that was not your reaction, was to see Cap's reaction. And I thought that was really cool because Cap's reaction sold it.
Bucky? Yeah.
Yeah, right? That's all he has.
He doesn't put like, Bucky's like, who the hell is Bucky? And he tries to shoot him. And Cap doesn't even dodge it. He just was about to take the bullet. Yeah. It
was I'll argue with the placement of the top 3. Not argue, but it's a friendly debate. But I feel like this is close, and it's close to what our Knights had, right? I mean, about 80%.
This is where I would probably rank it on. This is where we collectively can rank it between me and you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I no matter what, we're going to debate on 1 or 2, but I'm not going to be sad because Infinity War, for me, top 4 is always interchangeable.
Okay.
In general,
they're all so good that they're almost
It just depends on what you want. I'm not going to always just watch Endgame, because it's sad and I don't really need to end it on Endgame.
Right.
But for what they went, that's fine for me. My problem with the Infinity War wasn't enough Cap, but I get it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's how the story was. And it was one of our most voted ever. We got over, 350 votes, which is massive for people to care that much about Marvel.
Seriously.
You wanted to throw Widow in somewhere?
Yeah, I would rank Black Widow right...
Yeah, next to Iron Man 2.
Right here,
no,
actually.
I'll put it a little higher.
I'd put it right here before Age of Ultron.
I would probably put it next to Wasp, in between Wasp and Captain America.
Right here?
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue it more. I wanted more out of it.
Yeah, it's true.
I I think if I can watch it chronologically, like, because that's how they have it now. If you go to Disney Plus, like the next day when Disney Plus, because you can watch it at home, right, with their
Yeah,
premium channels.
yeah.
They have like the chronological order of Marvel, which is awesome, and they have it chronologically correct. Oddly enough,
I hate that
where
so
that was
much.
such a middle finger. I'm
Yeah,
like, don't put it in chronologically correct.
you screwed it up. Don't
Yeah.
double down on your
Unless you're doing a
mistake.
pure origin story like Captain Marvel, like you said in the 90s, then you can get away with making it late.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That was just a nerd peeve. A
No,
nerd pet peeve.
we've spoken that Black Widow is the female superhero in the Marvel universe, and not only that, but she's one of
She's
the
been there
founding
since Iron
Avengers.
Man.
She's incredible, and
Incredible.
she should have had her time in the light way
Day in the
sooner.
Sun.
Yeah, Day in the Sun. Holy cow! It
She should
drives
have ended
us
up with Cap in this other
bananas.
universe and just had the ending she deserved.
But
But
that movie
whatever.
should have been released earlier. And if that here's the thing, if that movie had been released earlier, Johnny, we would be ranking it probably right here.
Oh, right here. Dude,
Not
and then I would,
joking.
and then
In
Endgame
between
would have
Black
pushed
Panther
even
and
more.
yeah, one
You've
hundred
had more
percent.
emotions.
Yeah, I probably would have. Endgame would probably be in first right now. I wouldn't be hedging
Yeah.
on this, you know.
Uh,
Here,
and then
Johnny,
uh,
just for you, we'll do it.
yay.
Okay, we're going back now. No.
Okay. We'll put. I mean, I have high hopes. So for future nights, well, they're gonna have. What are they gonna have? Doctor Strange 2 come out.
Multiverse of
I love.
Madness. Yeah,
I love Scarlet Witch, so that might help it put in the A category. Maybe we'll revisit this.
I agree.
And then Infinity, not Infinity. I keep calling it the Immortals. I don't know if that's the real name or not.
The Eternals.
Eternals, sorry. Immortals, I think, is actually Marvel, DC.
Yeah, I
So
think it is. I think the
that's the
Immortals are
DC
DC.
kid in
I think
us,
so. Yeah.
which is weird because my chair is Marvel, but I'm wearing a DC shirt. Like I always say, bleed whatever you want. The Immortals looks cool, and the Eternals look cool. I don't know what I'm gonna feel about it.
I agree. So I just wanted to say, like, real quick, I'm really grateful. While we're still kind of ranking, I'm really grateful to the people who listened and got to relive these moments with us as we were ranking it. I was reliving some of my highs, and dude, I
Oh,
almost like cry sometimes when I think about some of these movies. Um,
the lead up to
yeah,
watching Widow got me into like I was just on Disney Plus, which is amazing. I was just rewatching a lot of these movies.
yeah, dude. So, real quick, I wanted to rank one other thing, just one. Who is the best villain in Marvel? As we're looking at this spreadsheet,
Villain.
is it Thanos? Would you say
I
it's
mean,
Thanos?
Thanos as he's a great villain. I don't see anybody ahead of him really.
Cool. That was just my curiosity.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
just
put
seeing
like
him
as
right
I'm
now,
looking
and
at it.
I'm just seeing him right now, you know, in the Infinity trailer, and I was curious if that was your
I
thoughts.
mean, it took the whole Avengers to take him out, right?
Yeah,
Because individually you can take out something, but collectively you need to take him out. You know, like I guess Galactus is the only one that's probably above him, but we don't touch it because X Men bombed.
yeah.
So
Um,
if we're gonna stick to Marvel,
looking forward, there is also coming out. You mentioned Doctor Strange, and we also
Mhm.
mentioned Thor: Love and Thunder. That looks good.
Thor: Love and Thunder, that one might be an. Will anything be an S for you?
I
I
think
think.
I think the third Guardians might be able to. I
Ooh.
think it might.
See, my money is I might put Thor because it's the same director as Ragnarok.
Yeah, Taika. But I really like
Taika,
James Gunn, and I think he's gonna do something really special for his final film.
it's going to be interesting with Jane being Thor. I mean, you know, being worthy.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Let's
yeah.
just say that.
I'm
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 excited to
optimistic
maybe
too.
put a fifth movie up there.
I'm optimistic too.
All right, Knights, as we always like to put, agree, disagree, hate it, love it, comment, yell. We love it. We love it all. We love the trolls.
Please let us
Troll
know
us
what
away.
moments we missed. What moments did we?
Yeah,
What is your favorite Marvel moment? Please tell us in the comments below.
please tell us. And you know what? If you agreed with us and you cried in the theaters, tell us about it. We loved it.
That's
If
right.
you loved when they fought, as my friend Josh, who we're gonna have on pretty soon, who works in VFX, after he watched Civil War, he said I felt like I was 12 years old playing with my action figures. How you'd have them fight each other. So you know what did it make you feel like, and what do you want to see
All right, Knights. That's our list. We will see you on the flippity flop.
on the Marvel flip?